Hello YouTube, Captain Boost with you here today, doing my first tutorial. I'm going to be showing you how to set up a Tekkit server on both Windows and Linux. I'm going to start off with Windows, I'll be starting in a second, and then I'm going to jump to a Debian virtual machine and show you how to run it on that too. Okay, so this is the start of the Windows setup. First thing you should always check when wanting to run Minecraft is it's a Java based application, which means it runs in Java. So for it to work you have to have Java installed. If you're playing Minecraft you should most likely have Java installed, because otherwise pretty straightforward, you won't be playing it. So to check what version of Java you've got, if you've got a 64-bit OS, which in my case I do, I have 64-bit, so go to check there. I'll press the Windows key and pause to bring that up. It's a 64-bit operating system, so you should install the 64-bit, or you'll have to install the 64-bit Java for Tekkit to run. If you're running 32-bit, you'll have to install the 32-bit. To check what version of Java you have, you open up command prompt by typing Windows key R, or pressing Windows key R and typing CMD, which stands for command prompt, and enter. And in your command prompt window, type in Java space dash version. This will show what version you've got. I'm running version 8 at the moment. I'm just trialing it out. It's in beta version. It's running really well. I've got 64-bit Java installed, so that's all good. I have Java there, so I can exit out of that. Once you can make sure your computer can run it, you have to download Tekkit. Tekkit's pretty straightforward. Go to Google, type in Tekkit. In the preferred browser, mine's Opera. First link usually bam pops up, Tekkit Technic Pack. Now they've released a new version 3.1.3, which is still new, still 1.25 version of Minecraft. I just updated some of the plugins inside it. I don't like running the latest version, so you can click server just above the little video there. And here at Skynet we're running 3.1.2 because it seems to be the most stable version. So you click on that and click download. And you can save it to where you want. I'm smart enough and downloaded it already. Close that out. Once you've downloaded it, you're presented with a WinRAR file. Inside the WinRAR file you'll find a heap of folders, which I have pre-set up is my Minecraft server folder. Everything should run from one folder. Keeps it clean, keeps it neat, keeps it organised. Simply highlight everything in there, drag and drop, and let it extract, and it dumps it in. So you can close that off, keep that as a backup now. Now luckily enough for Tekkit, they are smart enough to send you what's called a .bat file. This starts Minecraft, the server version. If you download the standard version from Mojang, you'll get a executable, or you can get the Linux version, which is a jar file. Tekkit use a jar file because they compress it and add all their extra crap in it themselves. Now inside that .bat file is what's going to be starting Minecraft. It's what's telling Java what to do with this jar file. Inside these perimeters here, it's showing how much RAM you want to specify to the application. In this row, this is the minimum set. So when you start up the server, it'll instantly pull 2 gig from the system and say, this is mine, I want this. And the extra 3 gig here is, or the 3 gig here is what it will burst to. So when it starts up, it starts with 2 gig and will burst to 3. Depending on how many people you use, at Skynet we use 30 gig for our server because we've got a 64 gig system. It's got 64 gig in it. For our little test purpose we're going to leave it as it is. 3 gig's fine for a couple of users, a couple of mates hanging around. It should be fine for that. So that's all good. Pause is good, helps you find issues if it crashes, because without the pause, if there's something wrong, the command prompt starts up and crashes straight away. It doesn't give you any errors. Another one I turn on is echo on. It's an old one. This tells the command prompt to show more information as it's being used. So that's all done now. So you just really simply double click the launch .bat file, and it pops up with all sorts of crap of mods starting up, crashing, not working because there's no world there and no players logged in yet. As you can see now it's creating my world. We've now got the world nether and the world end. It's got a nice little thingy there saying done. Railcraft's loaded, 0 saved anchors. It's pretty normal. Don't do anything yet, but type stop correctly obviously. So once you've stopped it, It's going to say pause, press enter key to continue, close it off. Now you actually have all the files you need. You've got the plugins folder here. Tekkit is a port of Bucket, which means you can use Bucket plugins in here, so you can add Essentials, No Lag, any of your anti-griefing, LWC and factions in there. You want to right click on the server.properties file and click edit with Notepad. You can get Notepad through Google. Notepad++ is like Notepad but a shitload better. It organises everything into proper positions and everything for you. The server.properties file is pretty straightforward. You've got whitelisting, you can allow the nether, you can name your server. We're going to call it a pawn server for noobs. That'll come in handy later. Difficulty, 1 is survival, 0 is creative, and 3 is adventure mode, which isn't in this version of Minecraft, which will be running. It's 1.2.5, doesn't really exist yet. View distance is good to leave on 10, because even no matter what style server you've got, it's still going to have to work harder, because Java, or Minecraft, is only a one core application. It doesn't spread across all the cores no matter what you do with it. And view distance is how many chunks are sent to the client. So if you've got 15, which is the maximum, it's having to send 15 chunk distance to every player. So 10 is generally a good spot to keep it around. 20 players, it comes up to you how many players you want on there. It still comes a limitation of the specs of your server. Generate structures, pretty straightforward, everyone knows that. The name of the world, that's pretty important to keep it as world, because most plugins read it as world and saves you having to change all the plugins that you're using. Level type, you can have super flat or default. Your max height, I think 1.2.5 is still only maximum height of 256, no matter what you change that to, in anything above that it won't really work. One thing you do have to take into account is the server IP. Now unless you're not running behind a NATed interface, which is a network address translation, leave this blank, because it's a very big security flaw without it, and if your IP address changes, the server won't let you in. Especially if you're running on dynamic, like most people will be, they're running their own little private servers. Level seed's pretty straightforward. We'll use the boobies as a level seed for our map. I've changed all that, it's all done. You can close it, delete our world folders now, and then restart the server. And that is pretty much it. That's a Tekkit server running on Minecraft, on Windows, sorry. One thing I did forget to mention in here is your port. Leave the port at 25565, because otherwise the user has to continuously put in or change the port number. 25565 is the default port. When you're in Minecraft, you don't have to worry about adding a port in there. You can change this to whatever you want if you really want to, if you're running multiple servers on the same server. There we go. So that's running now, so now we can log into it. Good old Technic launches, nice and quick. Log in as your account. This is always the annoying bit, waiting for Tekkit to open. There you go, so now you go multiplayer, and you want to look for localhost. So you can click join server. You can see all your stuff on the left there, all your command prompt, everything, all the stuff's starting to throw up as it's sending all the ports to you. Well, that's pretty cool. Now you're the admin of your own server, you own your server, so the first thing you should always do is type in to the command prompt over here, op, and then your name. Mine's Captain Boost, press enter and you'll see down here it's now coming up, you are now an op. Now unfortunately, because you logged in unopt, you have to disconnect and then log back in. So as you can see, a pawn server for noobs, that's what we named it. And now I'm an op, so now I've got all the flashy dashy, all the cool stuff, get on my armor and tools and stuff like that. I can fly again, and I can set myself in creative mode if I want to. That one there. Not a bad map actually. So that concludes the Windows one. If you want to learn how to add plugins to it, let me know in the comments and I'll show you how to do it. To stop your server, type stop. Been there before. Okay, and on to installing it for Debian. Now I've set up a virtual machine. Most of the time you'll be set up on, if you're using Debian, for Minecraft, you'll be set up on a virtual host somewhere out in the World Wide Webs. You'll be running off of MC Host or something like that, a bit of free advertising for you. We personally run ours out of our own server in a data center. So you'll be given a username and password. You can't run Debian without one. It won't let you in, it won't let you install without a username and password. It's good if you can have the super user one, the root password, because then you can install applications like Java, which I'm about to show you how to do. Java and a lot of applications are a lot harder to install on Debian, but some smart little cookie out there has ported Java 7 and set it up for simple installation via a repository, which you'll see in a minute just how easy it is to install. The first thing to do, you should know your IP address for your server, otherwise you won't get very far. Download PuTTY from the interwebs. Simply just type in PuTTY, it's the first link that comes up. Type in your IP address. Mine's a local IP address because I am locally attached to this virtual machine. Once you're there, put in username and password. And I'm on that system, this one here, via a PuTTY client in Windows. Normally you don't see that at all. That's out in the server somewhere. This is your only GUI to see what's going on. From here, you want to start off with Sue. If you didn't log in as root, you should always start off with that. So app get update. That'll update everything for you. Cool, everything's updated. Move that over there. Now, highlight the first line, copy it, paste. So with PuTTY, you just simply right click and it pastes it in there, click enter, done. Highlight the second line, right click, paste, so just right click and then enter. Now you're going to give the key so it knows what it's doing, right click, enter, do an app get update again. Get update, updates all the repositories, anything else that's in there. Then app get install oracle dash java 7 dash installer. I must have spelled something wrong there. I did, I typed install wrong. That's why you just cheat, do that, it's so much quicker. Say yes, you want to install it, just letting you notice the application installing is going to take up space, blah blah blah. It's probably going to ask for the CD, just because this version I installed. Nope, it's actually downloading by the looks of it. Cool bananas. This can take a little bit. I'll add a link in the description for where to get Java 7 via repository. This is a time consuming bit. While you're waiting for all this to happen, it's asked for the CD. Yours won't ask for the CD because they'll use a different version for you, so you don't need it. I installed the simple quick version. And I guess comes up. Once you approve their license, you say yes, okay, yes I accept it. Finishes installing. Blah blah blah, let it go. Does all the stuff. While that's going, head over to the interwebs and download WinSCP. This allows you to connect to the client in pretty much a normal standard window. From here you type in your host name. Mine's a local client, yours will be something completely different. Type in your username, your password, which I won't say aloud. You can save it if you want. I'm going to save it as test. You can save it as you want, save the password. There it is, and you can click login. You say yes to accept the key. Access denied, enter the passwording wrong. Shocking for passwords. There we go. There we go, this is the Debian machine. So head down to the root drive. This is the basic root drive with everything's in there. Right click, new directory. Personally, I call mine Minecraft. It's pretty straightforward. You want to set your permissions, give yourself full permissions in there. Same settings next time. Now you get a Minecraft folder. And you get your Tekkit server stuff. Highlight it, drag and drop straight in there. It extracts it, you say yes, copy. You can close that off. you can let it copy across. For some reason it's going rather slow. I'm not sure as to why. There we go, that's better. Now, another good thing with same as Windows, Tekkit were really good with the way they set it up. So they made it a lot easier for users to do stuff. Same as in the Windows setup, you got launch.bat, or in Debian you got launch.sh, which is the equivalent for Linux. So you right click edit, set the amount of RAM that you want. This is your maximum RAM, your boost RAM, and this is the minimum RAM. It pinches as soon as you start up. So you can close that off. Now from here, we've just finished installing Java. It's successfully gone in, there's no errors there. Just double check, you type Java -version, enter. Gotta spell Java correctly, it's pretty helpful usually. There we go. It's running version 7, it's build 7, right there. Build 18, version 7, build 18. 64-bit one, which is excellent again. After you've done that, you need to head to your root drive, start typing CD, in case you manage to get somewhere else. Now you need to get to your Minecraft folder. You can type ls, oh hang on, you go CD /. There we go, now we're at the root drive. You type ls, gives you the whole list of everything that's there. You can see just here we have a Minecraft folder. So you go CD Minecraft, enter. ls, you can see everything that's in there. Tekkit.jar, blah blah blah. Everything that's in this folder is in this one. To start up the server, just type in // launch, which is what the .sh folder is called. Ours is personally called, I think ours is called start, but anyway, it's launch.sh. You type enter, so you know, I was expecting this, you get permission denied. That's pretty common for when SCP doesn't give you the full permission straight away, so you head back out. I did that by pressing the little up arrow here, and then you right click on Minecraft, click properties, select everything again, set group and owner permissions recursively, which means it goes into every folder and does it. So now that's done it, now press it again, now Minecraft will start. It's the same as Windows installation, you let it start, make all its files, folders, blah blah blah, and then you stop it. So there we go, that's done, so you type stop, you stop, and it'll stop everything for you, and then you go back into your Minecraft folder and edit your permissions folder, which was, oh no, my bad, your properties folder, it's late. So I'll explain everything in Windows here. You can message of your day here. We'll call it for boobs only. And you can whitelist if you want. Pretty much all the same stuff there. You've got your port number there. Prefer to leave it at 25565 unless you're running multiple on the same server. Don't set a server IP. That's pretty much it. So yeah, we'll save the changes for that. And now you launch it. Now this is the same as in Windows. It's the same as in Windows, you've got plugins. It's a bucket port, so you can just copy all your plugins straight into there that you want. This is your mods folder. This is where all the actual, it's what makes Tekkit. It's pretty straightforward, so now go and make sure it works. Launch Tekkit again. Or Technique, it's actually called. Oh, we'll use that account, whatever. Get old Spax texture pack again. You wait around, the joys of HD stuff. So you click multiplayer. I'll delete that so I can actually show you how to get in there. Yeah, right. So you add a server. Some server. And now, two ways of going about this. You need to type in the IP address of your actual server. This isn't running on my machine per se, it's running in a virtual machine, so I have to type in the IP address of the server, which is 10.10.100. I've made a big boo-boo right there, that's the decimal point. Click done, comes up, all wicked, now we can join the server. Hang for a bit, there we go. So once you've logged in, you're not going to be able to do anything, because you're not op, you own your server, so to give yourself op permissions, you type op space your username you're using, which is Matthew BWN in my case. Now I've been opt, and you see on my little screen here you are now op. So in order to use everything you have to disconnect and then log straight back in. This gives you all the full permissions then, so you press E and you got all your cool gizmosy gadgets, same as in the Windows one. That's pretty much it. So you can exit out of that unless you want to play. Start setting up your world. Oops, to close the server down, same as before, you just type stop. I usually go save all just to ensure everything's out of the memory, and type stop, and that's it. You're done. Another good little trick I might add in there for you as well. With Debian, you can have multiple sessions going at the same time, so like multiple screens, like in Windows, I've got 2 screens going. Or in Debian, they allow you to do that from a console. So you go app, get, install, screen. Spot install wrong again. Joys of being left-handed. So app, get, install, screen. There we go. This is a wicked tool, this one. So now that's installed, all I have to do is type screen. So now I've got one screen session here. I can CD to Minecraft. I can start the server. Oops, let's have it. Orange.sh. So now I do that. Now to get out of that screen, I press Control AD. So now I'm back at this screen. So Minecraft's still running in the background. So while that's running in the background, I can type app, get, install, htop. This is like the task manager for Debian. So to open it up, you type htop, and now you can see what's going on. So I'm using 800 meg out of my 10 gig, and I got 19% or 21% on one of the 4 cores set up on this virtual machine. To get out of that, you just press Control C, and you can put that in your own screen session if you want. So I'll do that. So I'm going to leave this screen session as htop. Control AD to get out of that screen session, and now when you go back into screen-X, you can see your 2 screen sessions there. So you can go 2204. That's my htop, so remember that one. You can actually name them, but I forgot how to do it right now. And that's my server one. So that's pretty much it. That's exit out of that screen session. Type screen X again. Control C out of that. Oops, exit out of that. There you go. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions or anything like that, let me know in the comments, and I'll get back to you and change anything and let you know. You all have fun.